This is Harley Annie Good coming to you from the worst case scenario, our sister station, to WRST, the best of the apocalypse. So I want to talk about a few times that my life has been in jeopardy. Such as when I was in elementary school. There was the big 1990s earthquake. And what they made us do was bring a Ziploc bag full of essentials. Maybe it was like, dude, if I could remember, it was like protein bars and, let me see what else. Maybe hand sanitizer? I don't think so. I don't think it was like that. It was just like a water bottle, protein bars, just stuff. This was back in, let's see, if I was in 4th grade, I was born in 87. I don't know, do the fucking math. I was young. I was like 7 or 8 years old, going to proper school. And, they told us to do the cover your head by your neck thing. And they told us, because it wasn't a biological thing, it wasn't a virus thing. They told us to run to shelter. Now, if it's really bad, the first thing you do is run under the table. So that was the drills that we did. It wasn't fire hazard. It wasn't plague hazard. It was just earthquake hazard. I grew up in Los Angeles, California from 87 to fucking, dude, I kept going back. It's fucking addicting. But what they were thinking about was more earthquake hazard. Like if the tectonic faults split, or whatever the fuck you call them, you stand in anything that looks sturdy, the bones of your house. So, an awning. No, not an awning. What do you call that thing? As I have nobody else to talk to, I'm just going to talk to myself. So that thing, I'm standing in it right now. An archway. So you stand in the archway. Because that's 3 points of contact. And if the house falls around you, at least if one gives way, you're still have 3 points of contact. You still have a triangular prism. I don't fucking know. It doesn't really matter at this point. But I'm trying to find similarities in what I went through as a child for the earthquake hazard shit. They didn't know when they would hit. They're like aftershocks can hit months after. It could come tomorrow. Like it was a constant state of fuck. And then prior to that, I had a constant state of fuckery because I had a family that was not that great. And by not that great, I mean super fucking awesome. But just not that great that suited me to teach me the things that I want to know now. So I had a great family, but poor decisions and poor lifestyle and very, very scary. Very, very scary confrontations. I'll call them like I see it. So, today what I'm talking about is my scary confrontations with my family in family sense, a familial sense, and what I was taught in school. Because what I was taught in school after the earthquake was that you need to have at least your necessities by you. You need to work with your community or your fellow students. And we practice getting under our fucking desks. Like, what do you want from a child that's 8? No, not a child that's 8. I didn't eat. I mean, I did eat. But, like, what do you want from a child that's 8 years old? When the world is falling apart, literally shaking underneath our feet. Bring a granola bar and a fucking bottle of water. I don't know. These are just stories, but they told us if you're ever in a very volatile earthquake, either run outside, or if you can't, find shelter indoors where it's the most stable place. So I knew about the bones of the house that I was living in since I was 8 years old. I know how to stand underneath a fucking doorway so I don't get crushed. I know how to, like, go under a table so I don't get crushed. This was in the 90s. And here we are 20 years later, about to get crushed. I don't want to make this political. I don't want to make this a satire. I don't want to do shit. Because you're readdressing what survival looks like at this point. For people my age. And I'm really, really fucking mad. Because you know what I thought about when I took my little fucking Ziploc bag to school? Is that everybody had rich parents. Everybody had name brand fucking granola bars and water. And my parents didn't. That's what I thought about. That was my takeaway. You know what exacerbated that shit? That when we got all past it, when our little minds didn't even think about it anymore, I was reminded of how bad I sang. Because all the cute girls got all the right fucking roles. All the nice guys, or not the nice guys, the good guys had all the fucking right sayings. I'm probably gonna edit this out. This is probably too emotional, but, like, I don't know. They had one up on me. It's like they were the ones playing the video games that won them up. They got to the next level and I didn't. I'm stuck with disaster after disaster. And this is just a self-imploding thing. But that's what I mean. It's like, so I got trained to survive an earthquake. So then I moved to the opposite fucking side of the ocean to fucking find some fucking foothold. And now I'm fucking plagued with this. It's stupid. When is my generation gonna stop fearing? So I'm standing in between my living room and my hallway. And I'm really, really, really considering what the fuck is going on. Because there used to be doors to this perception. And I wonder what my kids are going to be brought up, because I have daughters that are 8 years old. And this is their fucking, like, survival thing. "20 years from now, are they going to have to remember this? And what are they going to remember this by? What are they going to remember this by? And my language doesn't even make sense. I've thought, and I've seen too many people to understand that my accentuating certain syllables or accepting certain definitions, like, this is what they're gonna have to deal with? Like, oh, my mom worried about earthquakes, and then she came to New York, and now she's worried about the plague. And when I was little, I worried about the plague. And when I get older, I'm going to have to worry about fucking decisions, about our encryption keys. And I'm not trying to be prescient, but in the end, I really think that the universe has a lot more to say than we're giving it credit for. And the universe has a lot to say on where our lives devolve, de-evolution, whatever, fucking evolve. Like, just, it's the fucking same side of the same coin. It's stupid. We're still trying to figure out if the earth is flat. There's still those fuckers that are like, the earth is fucking flat. Here, let me blast myself up into the atmosphere and, like, fucking die into a million fucking pieces. You really want to fucking do that? You're a fucking douche. And I'm not shitting on people that have killed themselves trying to find truth. Their truth. That's their fucking problem. But it's their fucking problem that they should not bring us into it. So you know what? They weren't preparing us for an earthquake, for us to survive. Bigger, heftier hands were probably government hands. Were probably preparing our generation for survival tactics. So, survival tactics. First of all, nobody's going to treat you like shit. Nobody. Nobody's going to try to one-up you. Nobody's going to take your resources. Nobody is going to try to harm you. Nobody is going to give a shit. The only people that need to give a shit